Knights of Apollo, what's up guys? It's Pixelated Apollo, and today I have a battle that is worthy of the gods. Even Ares would be like, huh, this is a good battle. So this is a 2v2 in Medieval Kingdoms Total War 1212 AD. I am commanding the Empire of Trebizond, which is very similar to the Byzantine Empire. And then over on this side, my ally is playing as the Kingdom of England, and we are taking on two pretty powerful factions. We have the Teutonic Order. They have very, very good infantry, good cav. And then we have Lesser Poland. Now, Lesser Poland, they don't necessarily have good infantry, but they do have some deadly, deadly cav forces that you must watch out, or they will just slaughter your men. So let's go ahead real quick, check out these army comps, and we can get this battle started. So we'll go in that same order, starting with my fantastic army. I've got about 5 units, I think, 4 or 5 units. Hang on, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units of guard archers. These guys are nasty. They are really, really good, and they're good at fighting in melee, so they are a must when you're playing as the Empire of Trebizond. Then I have about 4 or 5 units of the Trebizond swordsmen, which here they are. We've seen the Trebizond army before. I don't think I've actually played as them in a video, so yay. And then here I have 2 units of the Trebizond horse archers. Not sure how to pronounce that name, but yeah, there it is if you want to see it. Here's the Emperor's bodyguard. So here's the Emperor. He's, oh, looks like Aragorn. That's Aragorn. Oh my goodness. Not this day. Anyways, and then I have 3 units of lancers for my cav. So yeah, they don't have great cav forces. And then I have a catapult over here. Let's move on to England, because he's already getting pretty aggressive here. He's got about 4 units of yeoman archers. He's got a couple units of spear militia, which are not very good, but he does have the heavy billmen, which are a lot better compared to spear militia. And then he's bringing a really deadly force of foot knightly retinue, so we're kind of flying over. He also has some foot men-at-arms. These guys are like the best infantry in the game. And then over here he has 2 units of men-at-arms. So he's got a lot of heavy knights here, so hopefully he can use them wisely in today's battle. In the back here, he has more men-at-arms. His general is back there, and then he has 2 catapults. Let's move on to the next army. And you know what, guys? We're going to go ahead and pause it here, because I think it starts very soon, and I don't want to miss a single second of action. So moving on to the Teutonic Order, he's bringing some Livonian auxiliaries, the nice crossbows. He's got some spear sergeants, high period, with the very impressive shields there. And then back here, he has 2 units of pikemen. Actually, 1 unit of pikemen and 1 unit of men-at-arms. So pretty heavily armored, pretty deadly there. And then back here, he has his cav. He's got the Grand Master's Guard. That's the early period general. He's got some Ritterbruder, and I'm sorry that I can't pronounce that right. I really do need to look up how to pronounce that correctly. Don't bother writing it out. I have to listen to it to do it right. I can't do it by text, if you know what I mean. And then here's Ritterbruder late period. So they got, you know, steel-plated armor. And moving on over to the rest of his infantry, he's got the Sword Brothers, and he has some Teutonic sergeants and a catapult. More cav over here too, so mounted sergeants and more Ritterbruder high period. Moving over to Poland, we'll go ahead and do slow speed again here. Poland's bringing 3 units of crossbow sergeants. He has I think 2 units of halberdiers and lots of heavy axemen, like 4 or 5 units of them. He's bringing some spear sergeants to the fight. Back here, he has his Polish king of Lesser Poland. And then for his cav, the nasty cav, he has some mercenary horse riders. And he has some Polish knights from Greater Poland. And he also has the Great Banner of Krakow, I think is how you pronounce it. Really, really nasty unit, so you gotta watch out for them. Look at the lighting here. It's actually, you know what? I'm not crazy about the lighting in this battle replay. It is not that great, so we'll go ahead and do normal speed here. But we will be doing slow motion throughout the battle every once in a while, because this one's pretty intense. Most pitch battles in like Total War Attila and the newer games are a lot more fast paced and kind of all over the place. So I will be doing some slow-mo to show you the entire battle. Hopefully we won't miss too much action. So I'm going to also try to do more bird's eye view more often. We can actually look at the tactical view here. We can see the formation formations. We can see that there's some cav going on the flank with some spears. This is a very common strategy in Total War Attila. It's good to mix your spears in there, obviously. And then I'm just kind of holding my position here, kind of just looking at Poland's army. As of right now, I can only see this part of his army, but let's zoom in here. He does have some crossbows getting shot down by those very deadly longbows of England. So he was actually going to go for a charge there, but he's going to disengage. I think he noticed them breaking, so he was like, you know what? Oh wait, actually hold that thought. He's going back for some more. So things are getting really nasty here. Early start. Here's the charge. And then we see some arrows coming in, and he's going to charge into the shields. So not exactly the target he wanted to go for, but he should be able to get out of there very quickly. And now it looks like he's going to take on head first, even though he is outnumbered. The men at arms, they're charging in and taking on a lot of different cav units. The Teutonic Order doing some counter charges. Here comes more English knights joining this chaotic fight. And let's go ahead and get a nice cinematic view of this engagement here. A nice early start to this battle. Also, we've got some catapults firing into the position of the Teutonic Order. Look at this. Beautiful, beautiful. Looks like he's doing a lot of damage to the infantry here, waiting in reserve. Let's go ahead and go back to the HUD. Let's see what's going on my side. So Poland pushing a lot of his cav over on this flank. I was a little worried about that, again, because he's Poland, and their cav, they're nasty. They're disgusting how good they are. So what I'm going to do here is try to harass them a little bit. I'm firing some of my horse skirmishers at him, and he's going to go ahead and fall back. It doesn't look like I killed anyone, but I did do some damage, so hopefully that will help out in the late game. Let's go back over to this fight, though, because this is where most of the action's taking place. He's got a lot of his spear militia taking on some of the Ritterbrüder here, but, you know, spear militia, not that great. Also, we have the men-at-arms for the Teutonic Order joining the fight. I think they're going to clash here. Yes, they are. So there they go. Oh, it's a weird clash, but they are doing some damage to the spear militia. More catapults coming in. More cav fighting their hearts out. England outnumbered, but they're fighting the good fight. And it looks like he also got some cav charges over here with his men-at-arms, trying to do some damage to those archers. He's really trying to win the skirmish game at this point in the battle to try to get him to charge up this hill, because obviously we do have a bit of a hill advantage. But check this out, guys. This is where Poland's going for a very bold charge into my guard. I'm going to try to retreat them out of there. I do not want them to get evaporated there. So I'm going to charge in my swordsmen and take on this fight, try to destroy his cav here. And the Polish cav are now engaged in prolonged melee. I'm also sending in my horse archers. They put their bows on their backs, and they're now taking out their blades. And we'll go ahead and show the HUD. At this point, let's do some slow motion, because this is where the battle really starts to take off. All right, so I've got his cav units pinned down with my infantry and my horse skirmishers. What is that? And I have my lancers also in the fight. Look at this. Look at this. Oh man, the lancers of the Empire of Trebizond. And I have my spears, who are also containing one of his cav units. It's actually the Great Banner of Krakow. So this is a very expensive unit to lose like this. I'm doing a lot of damage, so this is really, really good, because I'm not too afraid of his infantry, more his cav, and I feel like so far I'm doing a pretty good job of containing him. I'm also firing my catapult, but unfortunately I wasn't really paying attention, so I wasn't using fire ammo. I was using standard shot, so I have no idea where the shots are headed. And then we have more fireballs of justice. Looks like they're going to try to focus down some of these archers here and try to take out some of the infantry. Oh, that was so close. It might burn some of them, though. Yep, it is burning quite a few there. So poor Teutonic Order taking a beating before they actually even get to the front lines. And that's the tricky thing about England. Those archers they have, they just destroy things. They're the machine guns of, you know, the medieval time period. So you got to try to have some meat shields or something to try to silence the archers. But what is this? We got a cav charge here. It's actually, you know what? I wanted to do normal speed there. I wanted to see a pretty nasty impact, but there we go. So there, well, that wasn't that great of a charge. but he is harassing the retinue longbowmen, and now we have the footmen at arms trying to support them, charging in and containing that cav. So he's got the same issue. And here comes more infantry charging down this way. We can, well, let's just watch this impact. I do want to watch this charge. So here we go. Here we go. Arrows flying overhead. Artillery firing in the background. So great shots there. Wonderful shots there. His English knights are going to do an excellent job against these spearmen. And we have more knights charging in this way. We have the Teutonic sergeants trying to stop them on the flank. Let's go ahead and zoom out, see what's going on. I think we got to do slow motion once again. I'm sorry, guys. I hope you guys don't mind, but this will give you a good view of what's going on. So the Teutonic Order, getting hit there from the artillery, trying to flank around and support his flank, support his cav over here that is currently outnumbered. We have more infantry charging up on the front lines, but look at this, some friendly fire going on England. That is very unfortunate for him, but the good news is that the Sword Brothers are breaking. If we head over to my fight, we've got a pretty intense melee. I'm taking on both the Teutonic Order and Poland at this point. Just a couple of units from the Teutonic Order, lots of spearmen, and that's pretty much it on this side. Mostly it's Poland's infantry over here, so let's go back to normal speed. Do an epic cinematic view. My God, what a battle. I'm doing a hammer and anvil over here, trying to break his men as quick as possible. You can see my cav in the back lines there. Not too worried about his crossbows, more worried about taking out his infantry and then taking out his cav, which looks like is happening. You can see his cav breaking over there. This is just a mess of a fight. Not looking great for Poland, but he still has some spearmen over here. He does have some Pavi spears, which could help turn the tide of this battle, or this small skirmish over here. Let's see what's going on over here on this other fight. My spearmen are losing to the heavy axemen. These are my Skirmishing. Yeah, they're losing big time. Also, we got some spears over here that are kind of surrounded by two different spear units. I love seeing spears fight each other. It's just so like clanky, you know, like shields everywhere. They're doing like overhead stabs and whatnot. It's a beautiful sight. I really do enjoy the like hold the line element of spears. But yeah, it's not looking good on this flank. But the good news is that I am holding and winning in the center. So let's see what's going on against England and the Teutonic Order. England, he's outnumbered, but his troops are a lot better skill-wise. So they might be able to push through and defeat the Teutonic Order. Oh man, it's been a while since we've done a pitch battle in Medieval Kingdom, so it is great to see some pitch battles. You know, I do love my siege battles, but it's a nice change. And then we've got a very goofy fight over here between the billmen and the pikemen, and then in the background we have some English knights trying to attack the flank of the pikemen, but we do have some Ritterbrüder from the Teutonic Order trying to contain them as well. Alright, excellent. So let's turn on the HUD again, see what's going on here. Bird's eye view. Okay, so you can see the epic struggle over here. My ally's doing a pretty good job. Me against Poland, it's still pretty close. Remember, he has his cav, which is currently charging into my swordsman there, which is not a good sign. I'm focusing a lot of my guard archers, which, by the way, my guard archers have been fighting in melee for a good amount of the battle. And what I'm doing here is that, well, if we look here, I'm losing. This is not good. It started off really well, but it's kind of turning in his favor because of his nasty cav. Here's another charge here, guys, of his mercenary cav right in the backs of my guard archers. Ooh, that one hurt. That was not good. My men are shaken, but they're not stirred. They're still fighting, but who knows how long. I'm also sending some of my horse cav into the, or horse cav. What is that, Apollo? My horse skirmishers into this fight. Oh, look at, oh, that is a nasty duel right there. Oh, this guy's standing. This guy, you know what? This guy stands on his horse. Oh my God, I love mods. I love Attila. It's so buggy. Oh, it's awesome. So yeah, it's his cav, his swordsmen are turning the tides. I do have, oh, come on, camera. I've got some archers, my guard archers still firing here. What I'm doing is just trying to kill as many men as possible before they start running after the rest of my army. What is going on? Oh, I'm getting charged. Oh, I charged. I tried to do a counter charge at that unit of cav because they're so depleted, his Polish knights, but they are starting to break, but they took out a lot of my archers there. Now the rest of my army is actually over here. I've got a lot of cav trying to contain the Teutonic Order. I noticed that the Teutonic cav was trying to flank around the battle lines, and I'm using my general to contain him. We did miss that, but what happened basically is he charged his cav this way, and then I retreated my general and engaged his flanking cav there, because I really did not want him, you know, attacking the backs of my infantry. That would not be good. Let's head back over to this side though and see what's going on. Man, I feel kind of like lost in this. Not lost. I know what's going on, but like there's so much going on. It's really tough to try to get every single element of this battle. But, you know, hopefully you're enjoying it nonetheless. Pikemen here, still going toe-to-toe against the heavy billmen. We can see some Ritter Bruder. It looks like they're running for their lives, or maybe they're trying to flank around here, trying to take on the foot men-at-arms. The very elite foot men-at-arms. And just this mod, I feel like does a great job of capturing the medieval aspect of battles. Like, you've got men in armor, banners in colors all over the place. It's just the battlefields in the medieval time period were a very colorful thing. You know, everybody, it's kind of like, you know, all the armies were kind of marching with swag essentially, and with the banners and the coat of arms, they're just trying to show to their enemy that, you know, they don't mess around. They don't mess around. But we've got a pretty nasty fight on my side. I mean, we got two armies that are very, very depleted and just giving it their all. But he's got more axemen charging into the front here, which is not good. Not good at all. This is really what's left of my army. I do have a good bit of infantry over here taking on some of these halberdiers of Poland, trying to take them out as quickly as possible because halberdiers are pretty nasty. But this is a really cool part in the battle, and I will explain soon. We're just going to pay attention over here. So he's got his swordsman coming up. He's got his axemen. I do have my artillery crew holding them back, buying me more time. Unfortunately, I've got some horse skirmishers who were caught out of position, so they're kind of getting harassed here. But this is where I charge in my general. So let me show you this, because this is an epic part. So we have those Polish axemen chasing down my archers. So I'm going to retreat my archers back, activate my general. There's my, yep, and then I'm going to protect him with a charge there. And that was, oh my god, look at this guy. Look how far they're falling. Did you see that? He landed right here. Oh my god, that guy got so much air. So much air. And now I'm going to do a counter charge with my archers to slow down the axemen of Poland. And we did a lot of damage to them, and they are now beginning to break. I have some horse archers now joining the fight, trying to turn the tide, holding the line. That charge from the general, though, was my favorite part of the battle right there. That was awesome. And then we have a huge flank over here from Poland. The Polish king moving around here. So we got to watch out for him. We got to take him out because look at this. I'm wavering. More and more of my troops are wavering to the side of Poland, but we are holding on this side. More and more archers firing down here, trying to take out as many spearmen as possible. And look at this. This is a really cool scene right here. Seeing those archers up there and the spearmen move forward. There goes my counter charge. Oh, did not. I'm sorry, guys. Wrong button. There we go. More and more troops holding the line. Really what I'm doing here is buying time for my ally to win his engagement, because I'm really going to have to rely on the English infantry. But the balance of power, look at that balance of power. It's in their favor ever so slightly. It's pretty much even. I think it's fair to say that. But I'm trying to do as much damage to Poland so my ally can hopefully win his battle and clean up the rest of the mess. Now remember, I was taking on two armies at one point, so my army is pretty much evaporated. I do have a couple units of guard archers. Ooh, are getting wrecked by some crossbows. But look at there. I didn't know you could actually fire and run at the same time. That is really cool. So yeah, I'm going to focus down his general. And we've got his general contained right here. So we got to take him out. This is the Polish king here. We also have the English general in this fight. I'm actually retreating my general over here. This is where I realized that I gotta help my ally out. So my general's going in for another brave charge. Oh, come on, what is that? Go in, guys, don't, oh, come on. Aragorn, charge in. There he is, look at, that is so Aragorn right there. That is so Aragorn. Kicking some butt. Yeah, so we're breaking them because of that cycle charge there. My general, he's been, you know, he's brave. Like, he's been in some very critical moments in this fight, containing flanks, going for frontal charges against axemen, and then doing another hammer and anvil charge over there, helping my ally break. But my infantry, as you can tell, my guard archers are breaking from the fight, and all I'm really down to is just my general, which is a unit of 16, which originally had 50. So it wasn't a huge unit at the beginning, but you know, I'm just glad I have something to help my ally out. And now the generals are doing battle. It's kind of hard to see who's who. It looks like they're wearing the same uniforms. Oh, no, here's Poland. Yeah, they're both red, so I'm sure a lot of friendly fire is going on in here. And then now I'm sending in my general this way. They're going in for the kill. Nice, good charge right there. So pretty good surround there around the Polish general. And the Polish king, he is he's looking pretty bad. That is why Poland is now moving in some spearmen. So again, the balance of power dead even at this point. Who is going to win here? I don't know, but England was able to defeat his Teutonic Teutonic enemy, and now he's reforming. I told him to send in more infantry over to this general side, because if we can kill Poland's general, it's game over. There's no way he can recover from that. His army's too small to be able to fight on without their general. But my general is also in this fight as well, so let's not forget that. Aragorn, there he is. Here he is. he's looks like he's kind of surrounded here, but here comes England to save the day. Join the fight. There's 3 minutes left in this battle. 3 minutes left in this glorious fight. Oh, we killed the general, guys. Poland's general is dead, and now we can focus down the rest of his infantry. The balance of power still pretty close to even, but I would say it's now in our favor after killing that general. And he does have a healthy unit of halberdiers, unfortunately, but without the general, it doesn't look that great for him. I also have another unit of infantry over here, my guard archers, who are running and shooting at the same time, which is really cool. I just really love that feature. And now the halberdiers are forming up, ready to hold the line. I'm focusing my archers to fire at the backs of the halberdiers.
Where are the foes worthy to meet me?
Yeah, you archer. Where are the foes worthy to meet me? There we go. The archer's firing. Let's see if I can get any kills here. Oh, yes, I am. I am using heavy shots, so I am, you know, penetrating that plated armor there. And then here's the rest of the fighting going on. Oh, what is this? The English billmen march at the backs of the Pavi's spearmen. Looks like they're running away. They do not want to engage the heavy billmen. The billmen are like, come on. We can't march that fast. We're marching in a tight formation. We got more spearmen over here breaking. The balance of power is now in our favor, and I think it is safe to say that we will take victory here today. So this was a beautiful battle, really, really close. I was also streaming this live, so I do appreciate everyone who was watching live. It was a lot of fun. And of course, a good game to all the players in this battle. They put up a great fight, every single player. Here's my general. He's still alive. He's chasing down crossbows. So this guy, he's seen a lot of action. Most of his army has been destroyed. I'm gonna get, look at that, look at him. Like he's like, huh? Is the sun setting? What's going on? Ah, I hit the wrong button again. All right, there we go. So I think we're gonna go ahead and just fast forward through this, guys, because his troops here are just gonna break. So there we go. Once they engage the heavy billmen, yep, there we go. Pyrrhic victory. So yeah, this was not really a victory because we lost so many good men. But let's go ahead and end this replay. Look at the stats here and see how everyone did. All right, so my army actually did really good. Like there's a lot of impressive kills here from every single category. My spearmen didn't necessarily do amazing. This one got 55, which is not bad. But a lot of my infantry got over 100. There's 2 that didn't. 77 is close. 220 from one of my swordsmen. My archers doing amazing, except for that unit, but you know, it's okay to have 1 or 2 doing bad. My cav doing okay. This one got 190, this one got 19. Horse archers doing pretty average. Catapult getting 66 kills, can't complain. And then my general getting 160. So my ally, Gladi Shiva 1967, he did really good with his archers and infantry, no surprise there. And then we look at the Teutonic Order, who did really well with his cav, but when it came down to his archers and infantry, not that great. His halberdiers did pretty good. Some of his spears did okay. His general did really good too. So yeah, that deadly Teutonic cav. And then Black Hawk strategy, who is commanding Poland. His infantry didn't do well, which is the big handicap for Lesser Poland. They don't have good infantry, but they do have really good cav. So I think it takes a little bit more skill to use Poland. And Black Hawk strategy, he did a fantastic job. So thank you guys so much for watching. This was a great battle. If you enjoyed this one, be sure to leave a like, a comment, and share. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.